So the Wisconsin election board, you don't believe them?
Yeah, I haven't seen any federal cases against Elon Musk for election rigging.
Oh, so if it's not a federal case, it didn't happen?
Mike Bloomberg's.
In a 2009 deposition, Musk said he called the department chair 2 days into the semester, quit, then started Zip2, a company he later sold for $300 million. Every dollar, every ounce of power he has today goes back to that moment. So if MAGA just wants the law enforced, why does he get a pass? He's also the poster boy for the worst kind of privilege. If you're someone who believes that anyone here illegally is up to no good, then he's your poster boy. The Wisconsin Elections Commission, 3 Democrats, 3 Republicans, found probable cause Musk violated election bribery law by offering $1 million to voters in that Wisconsin Supreme Court race. How did the Trump administration respond? By giving him multi-million-dollar contracts. How did he respond to those contracts? By pledging to give over $100 million to Republicans the next day. But it doesn't end there. Don't forget Doge. Gutted important programs, fell way orders of magnitude short of what he promised to cut. And now there are suspicions that it was all a smokescreen for his real ambition, handing Palantir access to some of America's most sensitive personal data. IRS, Social Security, DHS, HHS. What did they do with it? We don't know. That kind of power concentrated in the hands of the few should concern everyone. So if Congress wants to investigate somebody who seems to be doing as much as they can to compromise American lives, they got a much better target than someone who helped us through a pandemic. They should go after the guy who questions whether there ever was one. Now, that's my case. What is the counter? Joining me now, one of Musk's biggest supporters, Daily Wire host Michael Knowles. Make your witness.
Chris, I loved that magnificent monologue. The problem is it was all a bunch of nonsense.
One thing really stood out to me in this exchange. Michael Knowles is perfectly happy to talk about enforcing the law until the person we're talking about is Elon Musk. Because Chris Cuomo is raising some serious questions here about Musk's immigration history, his political influence, his election spending, and the billions of dollars his companies have received from the government. And instead of actually addressing those questions, Knowles keeps coming back to one thing. There hasn't been a federal case against him. But if the argument is that nobody should be above the law, shouldn't that standard apply to everyone? Before you hit that subscribe button, let me earn it. If you appreciate thoughtful political commentary, balanced analysis, and the biggest political debates broken down without the noise, then I'd love to have you here. Now let's take a look.
So to your first point that Elon Musk is an illegal alien, it's a funny joke that they made at a conference, but one, if Elon Musk were an illegal alien, Democrats would love him, and they manifestly do not. Second of all, he came here legally in 1995 to be a student. He dropped out eventually out of Stanford, and he was able to... No, he did work at it. He did drop out eventually. He took classes at Stanford, then he dropped out.
No, he dropped out immediately,
and
the visa was contingent on attending. Go ahead.
But Chris, here's the key. Elon was able to work, as students are able to work when they were students here. Now, it's true, there is this kind of gray area, but they worked it all out within 18 months. So he had a worker visa within 18 months. If he had committed anything even resembling immigration fraud, he would not have become a U.S. citizen in 2002. When it comes to his government contracting career, don't forget, he's been a government contractor since 2003. He's received $38 billion over the course of his 23-year contracting career. He's received it from Bush, from Obama, billions and billions of dollars under Obama, some under Trump as well. You ask what he got out of Doge, which was generally quite successful. It was roughly as successful as Al Gore's very similar program, roughly as successful as the Grace Commission under President Reagan, which was also run by a guy in the private sector. But regardless, what did he get out of those HHS files? I'll give you an answer. He found out that there was $14 billion annually in Medicaid fraud. This was covered by Daily Wire's own Luke Rosiak. You can go read about it on the DW website. So he did a lot of good.
Found Medicaid fraud every time they've looked. Anyone who looks finds that you guys are not special. What is special is what he did with Palantir and opening up those databases. What is special is that it's the first time an amount of savings was predicted and promised, and you came nowhere close to it. The impact of those cuts, we'll see. But this guy just rigged the elections. He worked the immigration system. That's why he got through it, because he fraudulently got his way through.
Chris, how did he rig the election?
You don't hear what the Wisconsin election? So the Wisconsin election board, you don't believe them?
Yeah, I haven't seen any federal cases against Elon Musk for election rigging.
Oh, so if it's not a federal case, it didn't happen?
Below Mike Bloomberg's, below Tom Steyer's, both Democrat donors. So Elon Musk has donated a lot to elections. That's great. But don't forget this idea that Elon Musk has made money on politics. Elon Musk got decimated in his businesses because he got involved with Doge in the campaign. The National Bureau of Economic Research says that Tesla sales were down by 83% because he got involved. That was tens of billions of dollars. We know that his X contribution to preserve free speech, he lost 75% on that.
It's also a crappy car.
He's lost a lot of money in politics.
It's also a crappy car. I had one. Okay, I think that's part of what's hurting Tesla also.
I can't help but notice a lot of people loved buying those cars until he got into politics.
This guy got through an immigration system that if he weren't a rich white guy from South Africa, he may be getting dragged out of his car at a traffic stop and getting his ass beat with people like you applauding.
Chris, you're saying he's an African American, so I think it contradicts your police stop narrative here. Regardless, he got through under Bill Clinton.
What I think is most revealing about this exchange is the double standard. Michael Knowles talks about enforcing the law. But when Chris Cuomo raises questions about Elon Musk, suddenly the standard becomes, well, where's the federal case? And that's the bigger issue here. You can't spend years telling everyone else that nobody is above the law, then turn around and make excuses when the person involved is wealthy, powerful, and politically connected. Chris Cuomo also makes an important point about the billions of dollars Musk's companies have received from the government. If you're going to criticize people for benefiting from government programs, you can't suddenly change the rules when it's someone you support. That's why this exchange matters. It's not really about whether you like Elon Musk or Chris Cuomo. It's about whether the same rules apply to everybody. But that's just my take. What do you think? Should Elon Musk be held to the same standard as everyone else, or do you think Michael Knowles has a point? Let me know in the comments below. And if I earned your subscription today, I'd love to have you here for more thoughtful political commentary and the biggest debates broken down without the noise. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.